Good morning, welcome back to the channel. So what I'm doing today, aside from picking loads of little stones around my shed, is we're doing some work on what's probably my favourite car, my little Volkswagen Polo. Now it's broken, but it's not properly broken, if that makes sense. It just needs a little bit of work. If you're not familiar and this is your first time on the channel, I bought this about a year and a half ago, nearly 2 years ago, and we have a lot of work done to it. Well, yeah, no, I was going to say not a lot of work, but we've done nice bit of work to it. There'll be a link to the couple of playlists, or a link to the playlist with, I think there's 5 or 6 videos. On that playlist, there's a link to that playlist down in the box there for you. I highly recommend you go and check some of them out, because however it managed to be so popular, it's the most popular videos I've ever made on the channel. The first episode of the car has, I think only in the last couple of weeks, ticked over 20,000 views. Another one has like 6,000, 5,000, 2,000, whatever, there's loads, incredibly popular. For a very quick rundown, I bought that because the first ever car that I owned, actually there's a photo of it up here, was also a 3-door 6N Polo. Now, the temptation to recreate that Polo and put a crazy body kit and that late 90s, early 2000s style is very tempting, but I'm not going to do that. But anyway, so what's wrong with the car? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I brought it to a local Cars and Coffee, and it just wasn't running great. When it started, it was very lumpy, kind of idle, and I thought, okay, you know, the car only gets started a handful of times, because I only really use it during the summertime, so it suffers a lot of, say, cold start, move it outside, let it run for 10 minutes, turn it off, you know, then whenever I'm finished, whatever I'm doing, start it up, bring it back in, let it run for 5 minutes, turn it off again. So I suspect it probably just needs a set of plugs. I'm hoping that's what it is. I was going to go all in and buy plugs and plug leads and a distributor cap and a coil and a rotor and all that stuff, and I thought, no, there's no point spending all that if I don't potentially need it. So I started off relatively cheap, and I just bought plugs first. I haven't opened the bonnet, I haven't checked them out yet, nothing. So let's open up the bonnet, pull out the plugs and see what they look like. So we got all that stuff pulled apart. It all came apart pretty easy. I expected it to be. The one thing I was kind of a bit disappointed, I suppose, to see, there's a little tiny little vacuum pipe that comes up along here, clips onto the side of that and goes onto the underneath of the airbox. This little kind of, I guess you'd call it fabric style vacuum hose seems to do the same thing. Now, if I remember right, that's just like a hot air flap kind of thing to help with cold starts, and that would be the same as far as I know. I've done a bit more research, but on the bottom of the airbox then there was that red fitting, which was the air filter out of the way, which was on here on this side, and then the black one, let me zoom in and touch for you, is split as well. You can see it right there. So I'll do a bit of research. As far as I know, like I said, they're just kind of hot air things, like to help with cold starts and stuff, so I don't see any reason I couldn't just block them off, because again, if I remember right, the ECU doesn't monitor any of that kind of stuff. It's so long since I've had one of these that I don't remember exactly, but I'll check it up again. But as far as I know, I should be able to just cap the two of them off and the car should run and start as normal, run and drive. That's after falling apart in my hand. Great. But yeah, so I should just be able to cap the two of them off. Worst case scenario, it might take a bit longer to start or to warm up, sorry, on a cold morning, but I mean, for a car that's left in the shed here pretty much all the time and is never really used in winter time, I don't think it'll be an issue. But I've capped them off when we'll get it running right first and put these plugs in. Let's stop rambling actually and just take the plugs out. goodness, I'm pretty sure we found the cause of our problem. Look at these. My God, look at that. Look at the state of it. Can you see that properly? Wow. And they stink of fuel as well. Like steel petrol there. Wrecked. I guess that's just from lots and lots of cold starts. I'm fairly sure now this is going to be our issue. Jesus, look at that. And looking at them as well, I just double checked. They are an NGK plug, but they have the Volkswagen and the Audi logo on them, which I think is kind of strange. So I'd say they're probably the original plugs. So if they're the original plugs, that means they're in that car since 1998. Now, I doubt they're original, but I mean, who knows? They could be. The fact that there's no, like NGK, BR, blah, 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 like you'd normally see on aftermarket plugs, unless someone put plugs in it at some point and put OE plugs in it, but I doubt it. I doubt it. They've got to be the originals. They have to be when you consider the mileage as well. Like when I bought it, it had 14,999. It has 17,080 now, but when it had a timing belt, I'd have to double check the documents, but it had only 12,000 something on it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're the originals. That's crazy to think that those plugs have been in there for 20 something years. Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna keep those, maybe hang them up on the wall or something. Patina plugs. So let's get a look at our replacements here and make sure that they are indeed the same. I assume they are, because they were ordered off the reg and off a part number. NGK BUR6ET. They look the same. They look about right to you guys. The triple electrode on top. Yeah, I guess looks correct. Okay, nothing else to look at. Let's stick those in the car. Help if I brought them with me. Alright, let's get these bad boys in. Now, I wonder, should I put a little bit of like anti-seize kind of stuff on the threads of those, because again, if I remember right, the head on these is aluminium. Fuck it, if they were in it for 20 something years and they came out okay, I'm not going to be too worried about it. Let's just send it, I suppose. Oh, speaking of send it, just drop it entirely. Yeah, doesn't seem to do it any harm. These are kind of an awkward angle, and it would appear the camera is slipping and sliding, is it? Maybe it's not, maybe my eyes are tripping. So let's get these in and we'll tighten them down. I'm really hoping that that's all my running problem is. I realised as well earlier in the little intro I didn't really go into any more detail about the symptoms, but it was starting easy, but it was running real rough, it was real lumpy, and you know, you'd bring it for a drive, and if I was moving off from the house, it'd be like, and then it'd get going, which would suggest definitely ignition problem anyway. What else was it doing? Once you get it warm and get it kind of up to speed, I guess you'd say, it would drive an awful lot better. Still not, I was going to say as powerful, but I mean as powerful as a 1 litre single point injection engine is going to be. So yeah, it felt down in power, for want of a better word. So like I said, I was going to replace everything, but not that everything was dear, but it was like 100 and something euros for the plugs and plug leads and a cap and distributor rotor and all that kind of stuff, and a coil as well. Apparently the coil is a common enough thing to go bad in these, but again, I think because this thing has such low mileage, I'd like to think that none of that stuff's going to fail any day soon. But on the other side of that, it's still old. Like no matter what way you look at it, all these components are still 20 something years old, you know, nearly 30 years old in some cases. Let's see if we can get that on there. Yeah. So I'm really hoping the combination of new plugs, maybe some fresh petrol, even though, like, I mean, the petrol is in it. It's not like it's petrol that's in it since it was new, or since like 2003 when it was first parked up. But it might be no harm to put maybe 20 quid in it. So hopefully the combination of putting new plugs in it, maybe fresh petrol, will bring it for a good drive. I'm hoping that'll help clear it out, like it'll clear its throat a bit. I think, I was checking the price, I think I have brake cleaner. I'll give the little throttle body a bit of a clean there, although it looks very, very clean. I'd be amazed if there was anything wrong. But again, a year or so of cold starts and short moves around the place, you never know what to get blocked up full of stuff. So tighten these up. hate tightening spark plugs just in case you break something. Never happened to me, but you never know. Bang, watch something break now just as I'm talking about it. Right, I've connected up all this stuff. I don't think I'll need to put the airbox or any of this stuff here back on just to start it, but we'll give it a shot and see if it starts without it. If not, we'll put it all back on. Alright, I got the keys in hand. Let's try and start it up. Will you watch out there and make sure that nothing explodes or anything like that, and let me know. It should start without the airbox connected, but let's find out. You ready? Oh yeah! Way better! Way better! Brilliant! I think that might have been our problem. Fantastic! Oh, it sounds brilliant. It sounds just like how it used to. I think we're good. Right, let's let it, or let's turn it off and put everything back together. Actually, before we put it back together, let me just reiterate what I was saying about the vacuum stuff. So, as I said, that line comes from that line. It was already taped together like that. I assume there's a cracked fitting or something under that tape. I never bothered looking, but that must be just like a air flap thing to help with warm or cold starts that goes onto the bottom of the box. Now let me see if I can place this in an area where you guys can see. Now if you're a Volkswagen head and you know anything about this, let me know. But this also went onto the black port on the bottom of the airbox that I showed you, which is cracked as well. Now it goes down here, it's already capped off here, but it goes onto the bottom. It's hard to show you. It goes onto the bottom of this hose here, or this fitting, sorry, the little plastic fitting there, and then that in turn follows this pipe over as far as the brake booster. Now I don't think it has anything to do with it, but I don't know for sure. I'm going to do a quick little bit of reading. I don't see any reason why I can't just either take that cap, green cap there, and put it on down here and cap the whole thing off, or take this off and put a rubber cap over that or something. But let me come back to you when I've done a little bit of reading. We're definitely going to cap off this anyway. Alright, so I'm back. I've done my bit of reading. Yeah, I'm just going to put off that pipe there and just put a little rubber cap on that fitting there, so I think it'll be fine. And the same, a little rubber cap over here. So I was digging around and I knew I had rubber caps somewhere. So I have these little guys. They should be fine. If I remember right, they're off the sheds that used to be out the back, which if you've been on the channel for a while, you know blew away earlier this year, so they might get some use. So hopefully now they'll fit to cap off the two fittings over there and the two little caps on the airbox there. So let's pull them out and do that. Okay, so I'm hoping now this guy should just, yeah, as I suspect, to just come off. That will pop out of there. We'll keep that. Yeah, that one's battered as well. Look, can you even see that there on the camera? Or yeah, there, it's absolutely battered as well. We'll get rid of that. Now I wonder, they look a bit small, but I might be able to squeeze them on. Oh yeah, that'll go. Oh, brilliant. Cool. That fits. That'll work, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, great. Looks a bit weird, but it works. I'll show you. Two little, we're super zoomed in, hang on. There we go. Two little nipples to cover that off. Let me get a bit of light there for you. You probably can't see fuck all, but that's alright. Now, so, oh, it literally just pulled off. I was expecting to have to cut that tape or something. Okay, fair enough. Now the little caps I have don't look like they'd be big enough to go over that, but maybe I can use a bit of heat shrink or something. Hang on, we're back. We might have something here that'll work. I can see. So I have the same size as what we used over there, and it might just about, I know you can't really see what I'm doing here. If it makes you feel any better, I can't really see what I'm doing either, so let's move that. Let's get that over there. Okay, yeah, that worked too. Okay, so I'm very, very gingerly gonna try and kind of coerce that pipe off that there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm aware I probably could block it off down at the vacuum hose there, but I think I'm just gonna leave it where it is because it's out of the way. Are you going to come off? Oh, yeah, you're coming. Keep it going, keep it going. That's the job. Right. Let's get one of our little nips. Again, I know you can't see it, but I can't really see it either. Come on, hose. I got hose. In different area. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so again, can you see there? Yeah, blocked off there with that little cap. So again, just get you out of this mount. Put you up there. Right, so that's blocked off right there. Let me grab this light. That other one is blocked off right there. You can see the black cap just below the green one. So by that logic, it should all just run the same. So let's start it up and find out. Okay, let's see. Fingers crossed. Perfect. A little bit noisy. I was just going to say a little bit noisy and chippy because it's cold, but perfect. Brilliant. Absolutely, I'm so happy with how that runs. Great, I'm so happy with that. That's fantastic. That means that all of that air flap stuff is irrelevant now. Like I said, it might take a bit longer to warm up when it's cold in the winter time or whatever, but considering it doesn't really get used, I know it's winter now and it's going to get used today, but that's just super simple. Right, bit of brake cleaner, give the throttle body a little wipe, slap it all back together. I think we'll bring it for a drive and put some petrol in it and give it a rip up the road. Maybe we'll go down as far as Tuam and back up or something like that. So I'll be back. There we go. Best car I own. What a little weapon. I absolutely love that car. It's so cool. It's so cool. And to have it driving nice now is fantastic. Or driving as it should, I suppose you could say. God, I love it. Such a cool little car. There's nothing that looks like it on the road anymore. And they used to be everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. Oh, it's so cool. So yeah, to be honest, bit of a bullshit video if I'm honest. I was kind of expecting to be doing, oh, I nearly knocked over my whole cup of tea. I was kind of expecting to be doing a bit more. And like I often said, sometimes if I'm doing one part of a system, I do it all, just that way you know it's done. So, but I guess cheap fix, easy fix, shitty video. But either way, thanks for watching. Follow me in all the usual places. check out the Car Club page. All the information is on the screen and down in the description for you. I've still got air fresheners and stickers. They're being given away for free, just the first run of them. Send me a message on Instagram, any of the Instagram or TikTok pages if you want one. Send me your address, we'll work it out. And peace, see you soon.